question in my visit statement are on this following slide. So really, Ramona, when she posed this to us, as she said, really, how do you know you've done a good job? How do you know your project is successful? How do you know you've met your problem of practice? So really, we are trying to enhance current programs on a daily basis to retain and recruit tomorrow's workforce by providing them deep learning. And we're trying to provide that everyday deep learning itself. And then my vision statement at the Career Academy, all students will meet one of three buckets. So every kid that comes to the Career Academy meets one of three things. They're either here because they have no idea on their future career, so they're exploring potential career opportunities. They're here because they know they want to go to college or a 2-year school afterwards, so they're interested in earning those dual credits. And then the last thing is, a lot of our kids know that college isn't for me. I'm going right into the workforce afterwards, so I need to earn certifications while I'm here. So those are our 3 buckets that our kids fit in, and that's where my vision statement lies. So coming outside the district, I really was unfamiliar with the school improvement plan process and the tools that were used by FWCS leaders. So Ramona really challenged me to use it, not necessarily as a school improvement plan tool, but how do you use this as a planning tool as an administrator? And that's how I used it. I used it to tackle my problem of practice and run it through my CASAB and my theory of change. I highlighted some pieces because when I was running it through that, I realized that my problem of practice really wasn't one problem. It was 2 separate problems that are interacting with each other, that are affecting one another. So that is what I have on this following slide. My problem of practice really revolves around recruiting and retention, and those are some of its outstanding factors, and then enhancing curriculum. They work with one another, so that's why I have that arrow there in the middle. They affect one another, but they are really 2 separate problems on their own. So then what I did is I used the logic model to kind of help me plan through what are the resources, the people I need to collaborate with, what are the outcomes I'm looking for each of these problems. I think really my long-term outcomes really kind of gave me a great idea of what I need to be working on. Really, every day at the Career Academy, we are doing everything we can to build industry confidence in our students. We're trying to make sure that our students are ready for the industry practices that they're going to see when they leave. The other thing is, I want, and I know this is a mission of Jesse's too, I want to make sure that this is the best career academy in the state of Indiana. We have the businesses, we have the student population, we have the faculty, and we have the resources to make this the best career academy and provide the best programming CTE-wise for our students. So what I did to really begin, I collaborated with roughly 8 career centers throughout the year so far. And I collaborated with these ones based on programs offered, demographics, just prior experiences with them. So like I said, those are the programs and the career centers that I've worked with throughout the year. So my first problem was, like I said, recruiting or retention. So here's what I worked on throughout the year in terms of recruiting or retention. In terms of recruitment, I worked with Jennifer Antiezo Fisher to update our website. If we're going to work on recruiting tomorrow's workforce, we need to have the most updated information and updated certifications, college credits, and information for our parents and students. So that's what we did. We had some information that was from several years ago. So it was important to not only update all that information on our website, but make sure that it met next level programming, because that's where we're going curriculum wise at the Career Academy. The next thing I did is I worked on a digital program guide. I actually collaborated with Central 9 on this. They have an amazing digital program guide, which highlights all their programs, certifications, possible careers, and all that. So that's what we did. And you may have seen it on our website. There's one in English, and I made one in Spanish for our Spanish-speaking families to be a resource for them. Within this digital program guide, it's also a tool that we could use at earlier levels because it connects to Indiana Career Ready. So each program area that we have, it highlights possible careers for students, and they can click on them and study more about their careers. From J. Everett Light, I learned about a referral program. So, word of mouth is one of the best recruiting tactics you can use. So I worked with J. Everett Light to set up a referral program in which kids would send the digital programs guide to their friends, have them fill out a brief Google form, and then they were in a drawing for $50. So it's a really cool tool to get kids spreading the word about the Career Academy and all the great programs we have here. We also created a recruiting video. We had an email go out to all sophomore and junior parents and students in Fort Wayne Community Schools and our outside parent schools. I conducted 16 Zoom presentations with like Northside and other different schools that are parent schools for us. We did tours still, virtual and in person. The virtual tours are something I really love because I was able to use my iPad and walk around the Career Academy and show kids what their classroom is going to be, and here's the instructor. It's just a great use of a great way to kind of bring that information to our parents who couldn't make it here. I also like those tours too because I was able to provide 3 to Spanish-speaking families, so it was a really nice opportunity overall. And then we also now are introducing an online application via Snap. Retention-wise, really the retention efforts were focused on how do we create new systems to help our current offerings and our current structure. So we knew enrollment was going down. We had questions about retention as an 18, but we didn't have the data readily available. So this is actually a database of 5-year data of our enrollment numbers, our second semester withdrawals, and our second year retention for each program. And it's a spreadsheet that I worked on and that it's shared with amongst all of our A teams so they can basically study and we can understand what programs we have need help with. We also didn't have a process for second semester withdrawals. So I worked with Central 9 to basically create a survey that kids will now only do. So starting next year, kids can do a survey when they withdraw so we can understand kind of what their needs are, and we can do a withdrawal interview with them. And then we had a end of the year survey for juniors and seniors. The junior one focuses on second year retention. The senior one focuses on post-secondary alignment, just so we can get some of that key data. So then here, this slide kind of highlights some of that key data that we've collected throughout those pieces. So recruitment, our numbers are up, they're very good. So hopefully with COVID that really didn't impact our recruiting numbers. So like I said, I know right now we're over 1,200 with late applications. So we're doing very good on our numbers with that. And then you can see just some of our 5-year data in terms of that retention. And then you can see some of the kind of key findings that I had from the junior and senior surveys. I would say I was the most piece that stuck out to me was the post-secondary plan alignment. Only 53% of our kids said that their post-secondary plans meet what they kind of studied here at the Career Academy. So that's something we need to definitely dive into more as we go forward. And then the last problem was that enhancing curriculum. So our partners database. So what when working with all these career academies and working with our teachers, I realized that a lot of our teachers didn't have connections with some of these other career academies. So think about it, if you're a math teacher, you have other math teachers in your building that you can collaborate with. You have other support. If you're a masonry teacher, who do you collaborate with? So it was important for us to work with our career academy partners to develop a list of basically teachers by careers academies in those program areas so they have people they can reach out to. We also create a large database basically for our teachers and our A team to highlight all of our partners. Each program has its partners that they work with, but we've never collaborated. We never shared all our partners. So now we have a database that has all our career academy partners in there. So I worked with our work-based learning coordinator, our A team, and like I said, I worked with basically who's in charge of each building to basically create this so we all have each other's resources. We can really provide those deep learning experiences for our kids. One thing I'm really proud of in my time at Cheer Busco, I was able to make good relationships with Lutheran Health. So we lost our clinical experiences for our intern health kids this year. I worked with Lutheran Health to actually get our intern health kids experiences. So they are currently doing every Thursday clinicals there. So it's a really good opportunity for them. And I just found this out, we are actually going to be working with St. Joe Hospital, which is a branch of Lutheran. They're going to be actually providing opportunities to our kids next year too. So it's a very good opportunity. I know both of them are excited for our Central Service Tech program, which we'll be highlighting next year. So really excited for all that. Next level programming, big thing that we've all been working on. Really what we've been doing since basically January is working with teachers in RPL on planning your current unit assessments, breaking down the next level programs and competencies, and then developing a scope and sequence that highlights authentic assessment, daily deep learning, the new next level program of study standards, and then college certifications and credits. So that's kind of what we've been doing right now. Each administrator has 5 teachers that they really work with. So that's what I've been doing with 5 teachers throughout this semester. One of the big projects that Jesse and I have worked on is a state earn and learns. So we are rolling out 9 seals starting next Monday. So that's our big seals rollout event. The goal is to get 3 more over the summer. We're trying to make sure that we meet a seal for each pipeline. That's our end goal. We want to be the Career Academy with the most seals, and I think we can do it. So here is one of the drafts that I worked on for seals. And then here are some of the additional seals drafts, because like I said, we're trying to get a seal for each pipeline. And then kind of here's some employer information just so you can see it if you're interested in that. And then the kind of last thing with curriculum is just really how do we help all levels of FWCS with career readiness and curriculum. So Elkhart Career Academy does a great job in which their career academy really serves as a hub for middle school career readiness and like college readiness, like the exploration. So I worked with them a little bit and I created a lesson. I said this to Jennifer Mabel, Scott Snyder, and Shanita Bolton and I all worked on this. So there's a lesson that we kind of all worked on together. And then we are also doing an Express Yourself Day with Kroninger, in which each of our programs will be highlighted via Zoom. So just doing those little things along the way to support our middle schools, our elementary schools, and help them with their college career readiness. Ramona challenged me to kind of think about what are your long-term implications of your work. So obviously our recruitment tools are updated. We need to keep updating those information. We need to keep attracting and retaining our kids. Specialized tour days for key demographics and parent schools. So we really want to, I do Spanish speaking tours at a certain time, or we work with our translators to do a Burmese special tour. I know we have tour day. We have a lot of tours from Bishop Dwanger. So maybe having a Dwanger day at the Career Academy. So just doing those little things to get that outreach and bring people to this great place. Databases. So just keeping our database, getting those information about retention and post-secondary alignment so we can make informed decisions. That's something going forward. Adopting next level programs. Say right now we're just working on that scope and sequence piece, but how do we start implementing that to our curriculum and our daily learning? Seals, like I said, that's going to be continuously throughout the summer. So we're working on 3 new seals right now. And then how do we continuously support curriculum, college and career readiness, and our earlier levels to make sure that they have the information and research they need for the pipelines and college career readiness. And then there are some of my goals, being a 260 here or working at an elementary school and helping develop a kind of like a CTE school. So I appreciate all your time. Like I said, that's my quote I ended with last time. I really, like I said, I get to live that every day. So I get to live my dream and help people learn CTE and work with kids every day. So I'm very appreciative and thank you all.
Larry, thank you very much. And thank you for sharing. Larry, I want to see if Cabinet would like to ask any questions of you based upon the information that you just shared.
Nice job, Larry. This is really good work, and CTE is certainly something that's near and dear to all of us and our students.
Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that.
Very good job. Very thorough.
Thank you.
Larry, I appreciate your connection to elementary and preparing them at a very young age to think about college and career.
Yeah, so, thank you.
Appreciate that connection.
Larry, have you had connections with any of the pipeline committees?
Yeah, I currently sit on the trades one that Jesse leads. And then I've also, I've met with Shanita recently, and she and I kind of talked about the manufacturing a little bit too. So, and then we have Riley Johnson in our building. So he and I kind of talk about the pipeline very often.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Larry, I think this is good work. It sounds like you've done your homework and reaching out and finding other examples. Really, I'm impressed with the level of knowledge you have learned just in this short time about Fort Wayne Community Schools.
Thank you.
Great work.
So since this is the second time I've seen this, Larry, I do have another question.
Okay.
So what sort of has piqued my interest, we're trying to develop these deeper learning, if you will, lessons. I will call them quadrant D lessons, or so not now, but later on, maybe we can have a discussion through Ramona and through Faye and maybe get, how do we bring these lessons into our K through 12? So I think I heard you say something about Kroninger, and you've tried, and so you've been doing it, but how would we scale that? And that would be the next question. So think about that a little bit, and we'll get back with you on that topic.
All right, sounds great. Thank you very much.
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
I noticed that the new relationship with Lutheran Health Network that you've done, and I think that's great to involve more of the health community. But is there any complication with this with the health program, being a Parkview Health program, and then incorporating Lutheran Health Network into that scenario?
No, not at all. Actually, when we were setting up our clinical experiences for our injured health kids, we worked with Parkview. So they're actually going to Parkview on Fridays, and they were more than willing to. There's no like a conflict of affiliation agreement with that. So yeah, they're going to Lutheran on Thursdays then. So our injured health kids get basically a day guaranteed. So group 1 and group 2, they each get a day. So it's like I said, there's no conflict of interest in that.
What do the clinicals look like when they go to do a clinical?
So depending on the site, it depends. So like Parkview right now, each kid is seeing a different department every time they go. So they're going for 6 weeks. They came right after spring break. Every Friday, they're going to see a different department at Parkview, and they're all at the regional medical center. For Lutheran, they are actually rotating. So every basically 2 weeks, they're seeing a department.
Okay.
All right, Larry, again, thank you again, first of all, for accepting to come to the FWCS family
I
from
appreciate
Cherry
it.
Busco, and again, spending this year-long journey with Larry. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.